Good afternoon, all. Thought I'd do a live soldering session. My stream status is good. My chat window is here. So just make sure this is working. Okay, it's working. Hi, Julian, and a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Aye, greetings. Yeah, so some comments are coming in. So that means that the stream is obviously working. So now I'm going to do some live soldering because I wanted to get this board started. This is my vocoder filter board. So I have printed out. Sound is a bit overloaded. Oh, well, I can probably just talk a bit quieter. Yeah, I'm using my Nexus 4 for this. I've printed out the schematic for this so that I can hopefully quickly pull out component values and shove them in this board. Yeah, I'm using the Nexus 4 because I've started using the Doogie Mix, which I actually bought a case for. This is my Doogie Mix. I've started using this as an actual phone now. So I didn't want to use this for the live stream because then I'd have to turn off notifications, and that's a bit inconvenient on my phone. So I've turned off notifications on this Google Nexus 4, so it shouldn't make horrible loud noises. Okay, we've got, oh, let's have a look. We've got Joe, Army of War, TTK, Hardick, Youssef, Charles, Lucas, Richard, David Gomez, Ed McLaughlin, Amma, Zach, Army of War again, Mitt, Johnny Rocket, and I think that's everybody. Now, I realise this during the day is not going to attract the same number of viewers as if I did it in the evening. Let's turn my soldering iron on, actually. Can you see the soldering iron? Yeah. And I will need some solder, but I just wanted to get this done, and I haven't done a live stream for a while, and I wanted to see whether I can do it on this phone. It looks like I probably can. I think the stream health is good. Let me just check that. Unfortunately, that's behind my pop-out chat window, which is a bit pathetic, isn't it? Stream status is good. I'll tell you what, I could make my pop-out chat window a bit thinner. Yeah, that's working well. You can't see any of that, of course, but whatever. Right, so what I want to do is get a few components in here. So let's have a look. What have we got? Well, these components next to the transconductance op-amp, I think, are favorite. So possibly R31, 32, 35 and 36, 38. So let's look a few of those up. So we got high quality video, good quality video. Thanks, Joe. Video and audio, both fine for me. Oh, that's good to know. Nice soldering iron. Yeah, this is the TS100, which I just love now. Oh, I've got the wrong bit in it. I've got the wrong bit. That's the enormous. Oh, now I've got to find the other bit. Oh, yeah, I can see it. So I need to make that cool down. Now, I've got a feeling that it doesn't get too hot down the bottom. No, it's okay. So that can come out. Put my proper bit in. And rotate it into position. I don't bother locking it these days because it seems to work fine without locking it. Yeah, that was a chunky bit. So this bit is a monster wedge, and it's the TSC4, and I think this is the TSBC2. That's the one. BC2 is a 45-degree wedge, but it's a small tip. So let's warm that one up. But it is getting a little bit corroded now and worn, so I have ordered another one. But last time I ordered a soldering iron tip, something totally irrelevant turned up. It was a load of servo extension cables or something. Yeah, just a bit weird. Okay, what have we got on the chat? Hello from Toronto, Calendar, Czech Republic, Minnesota, USA here. Greetings from Holland. Greetings from Greece. Hello from Finland, Germany, Hungary. Hi there, bloke from Florida. Excellent. Another part of Julian's art soldering. Yeah, I'm not sure about art. Hi from Sweden. Yeah, you can stick some countries up now and I'll read them all out. Hello from Germany. I'm not sure about art. It's just soldering, really. Good morning from New Mexico. Live soldering, more like live talking. Yeah, it is live talking because I haven't started soldering yet. So let's get some component values. You're right, I should start. I like the look of 31 and 32 as my first components. Where are they? Are they up here? No, they'll be down on this second half. 31 is 10K, 32 is 12K. They should be easy enough to find. 10K and 12K. Here they are in my little when tie boxes. 10K, 12K. Oh, there's only two 12Ks. That's a bit concerning. Where are my pliers? Here they are. So let's have some 10Ks out. One for the moment. A couple of 12Ks. 12K, I think, is the value that in 4-band is palindromic. Let's have a look. Palindromic means it reads the same from the left as it does from the right. Yeah, it's brown, red, black, red, brown. So it actually reads the same both ways around. Now there should be a little gap, but actually it's not noticeable really. So those are the 12Ks. Are these the 10Ks? Brown, black, black, red. Yeah, that's 10K. That'll do. Let's bung them in. Brown, black, black, red. 10K, which was 10K. Let's remind myself. Right, what have we got? Germany, New Mexico, Paris, not Texas, Paris, France, India, Norwich, Philippines. Hi from India. Denmark calling. Thinking about making a video about how you go designing PCBs. Yes, I have thought about that many times. Derbyshire, Pakistan, Beaconsfield. Oh, Beaconsfield's pretty close. Hungary. Needs a daughter board with another daughter board. Of course it does. Brooklyn, Lancashire, Budapest, Netherlands. You see, the thing is that my sponsor, JLC PCB, is a manufacturer of PCBs. And although the group of companies includes EasyEDA and LCSC, the component suppliers, they're all slightly different. And because this is my sponsor, it kind of could be seen as mixed messages. I don't fully understand it, but I don't want to get it wrong, as it were. So 10K is R31, but it's also R8 because this is 2. So R31, R8. Let's bung them in. Right, actual soldering now. 10K, R31, R8. So now these are coming out of pin 4 and the opposite pin, which is 18, 17, 16, 15, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, wait a minute. I don't know. No, it's 8 pins. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so it's pin 4 and pin 13. Let's get them in. 10K. Oh, no, it's loose. You see, I've gone and bent this. And this is one of these horrible resistors, just with no strength in the legs. These are probably steel legs. Should we just check that? Let's get a magnet. Yeah, you see, steel legs. Horrible, these things. I like the old chunky copper ones where the copper's like so thick it uses half the world's copper resource for one resistor. Now I need something to sort of hold these in place when I turn it over. Otherwise that happens. I'll stick it on there, that'll do. Okay, West Midlands, Black Country, Netherlands, Budapest, I think I read that, Frankfurt in Germany. Where's the cat? Cat seems to be important for a good YouTube channel. Well, I don't have a cat, but we do have a neighbour's cat who's very friendly. You see, we used to have cats, and so my wife likes cats. All right, that was the other one, wasn't it? And so the neighbour's cat gets treated like a king with treats. We don't feed it because that would be inappropriate, I think, but we do give it treats, which is a form of feeding, I suppose. I can't cut that. But mainly, actually, the treats are a method of getting the cat out. So we chuck a few treats out on the patio outside, and the cat goes out. And soldering actually happening. Look at this. These are 10K resistors. Of course, when you solder live, you make a complete hash of it. I was watching Dave Jones do it the other day, and he made a complete hash of his live soldering, didn't he? So those, actually, I can stick to that magnet. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Can you see that? I don't know what you can see. Yeah, you probably can see that. Okay, let's have a look. Try making VGA Pong after vocoder just from TTL. Well, I did. But it was Pong which ran into a 625 line screen, but it would make more sense to do it into a VGA. I'm sure there wouldn't be much in terms of modification to make it work on VGA. I don't know whether I've got a VGA monitor. This one might be. I can't remember. Don't you have it hot, Julian? Michael, I'll call you Michael because I know that Sion calls you Michael, doesn't he? Don't you have it hot? Well, it's warm here. Do you mean the weather? Yeah, it was hot. It was hot for the last 3 days, very hot. But today's just really pleasant. It's 20 something, which is perfect. Where's the copper scrungy thing? Oh, I could get that. It's over here. Copper scrungy thing. I'm not sure I'm going to use it because I hate it. Oh no, the magnet's stuck to it. Oh, this is all going very wrong. But there's the copper scrungy thing, so I could use that. Well, we've got 2 resistors in. Should we get a couple more resistors in? Okay, long time subscriber, first time watcher on live. Yeah, I don't do much live. I want to do more. You see, normally you'd have an inset of your face here, but I can't inset because I'm just using the phone app. So I'm not using OBS. OBS won't run fast enough on my computer. So these were 12K, weren't they? 12000, 12K. Where do they go? They go here. It pulls up pin 15 to plus 12 volts, and it pulls up pin 2 to plus 12 volts. So it's 2 and 15. Resistors 10 and 32, 12K. Resistors 10 and 32. Try not to forget that. So you're using magnets to catch wire ends for saving. Yeah, because these wire ends are steel. Actually, I'm not sure they all are. No, that one. Is that one steel? No, I think that's copper. So it's only going to half work. But I thought I'd catch the steel ones. Why do you hate the scrungy? Because it doesn't work. You shove that in there and nothing happens. It's rubbish. You get little bits of solder hanging off the end. I mean, you get that with the sponge as well. But if you just keep going at it with the iron on the sponge, they do eventually fall off. I've forgotten those 2 numbers now, see? This is hopeless. R10 and R32. R12K. Oh, where's R10? That's interesting. Now, if you can see R10, shout. Well, don't shout, but R10. Oh, there it is. It's there. Pin 2 and the opposite pin, which is pin 15, I think. R10. Now, since these are palindromic, I'm not worrying too much about which way around I put them in. Not much soldering happening. No, there's not a lot. Because you see, in the past, my live streams were always just me responding to questions. But I kind of figured what I want to do is a live stream where I actually do something. And I tried one a while back where I was putting components into a breadboard. And it was a total fail because I only actually got about 5 components in. Because I was allowing myself to get so distracted by the chat that I kind of didn't really focus on the soldering. So today, I'm focusing on the soldering. That's interesting. The solder isn't flowing quite as well down the hole on these copper leads. I wonder if there's a reason for that. Now does copper have a better ability to transmit heat? Is it, I can't remember what the word is, but so maybe it's just pulling all the heat away. I don't know. Maybe the steel doesn't do that as effectively. You see, they don't stick to the magnet. So they're copper. Okay, let's put the board there so you can see it. These are bits of... Oh, no, you don't have to be quiet, Mylene. That's not necessary. Let me read some more stuff. You should be on eBay making China richer. Yeah, I do that quite a lot. Free British occupied Britain. No idea what that means. I have problems with my brass sponges. I think I got the wrong ones. I think I got a cheap one, yeah. I just missed that comment about Ben Eater, which is a shame because it's probably quite interesting. Did you see R2-D2 fly? No, I didn't. Why is everyone so impatient? Yeah, exactly. Why always USB soldering iron? No, it's not USB. This is about 20 volts going in there. I'll show you my power supply. It's this lithium-ion battery. So it's not a USB soldering iron. It's I think can put up to 24 volts into this soldering iron. And so it's quite powerful. It's a really good soldering iron. How would you rate the soldering iron out of 10? Well, this one, yeah, I mean, this is as good as my old Antex, which I would have difficulty rating anything less than 10 out of 10. But I know that there's no mains on my desk, and I really like that. So 11 out of 10 for this. It's really fantastic. Sion, I hope you're doing well. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Sion mentioned that he'd gone to hospital, didn't he? And I'm not sure what the follow-up is on that. Okay, hope you're feeling better. How would you rate the soldering? Yeah, done that. Try your new pair of cutters. The cutters are here. Yes, I could try those, couldn't I? I'll do that. Why did you find cheap Chinese PCB manufacturer better than in UK? Well, it's cheaper. I did get some PCBs made in the UK some time ago, and they weren't cheap. Where's Dave? Thanks, folks. Can we purchase any of your boards? No, I don't sell on eBay at the moment. Is your chat lagging? I don't know. Is my chat lagging? No, I'm reading comments from a little while back. I sold my charge controllers. I need to do some more live soldering, particularly because I haven't got an inset image. You need to see something move, otherwise it's just not very convincing, is it? So we've done 10K, 12K. How about these two 470 ohm resistors? 11, 12, 35, 36. 470 ohms. They're over here. 11, 12, 35, 36. Where's 11 and 12? Let me just find them first and then I'll know where they are. 11, okay. 11 and 12, yeah. 35, 36. Now there are some component positions here which I've added an additional hole. This one R30, you can see the actual holes for the legs, but there's an additional hole because one of the filters requires that components are sort of rearranged. But I'm not going to worry about on this one because that only applies to filters 1 and 14. There are 7 of these boards, incidentally. So there are 14 filters because each of these boards has 2 filters. Anyway, let's get some 470 ohms out. 2, 4. Oh, what have I done there? I crushed it in the little close mechanism. Oh, never mind, we'll come back to that another day. Right. Tutorial, and thanks for your create for us. I was looking at Tiny Pico. I love Antex irons. Yeah, I used to, but I like this now. The TS60 is the USB version. Okay. Sion's here. He didn't die. I'm home, so can't complain. Oh, excellent. That's good to hear. Thanks, Sion, for that update. Well, I hope to see you doing live streams again pretty soon. I really do. What's the time in Australia? Probably about midnight. Has it been like 10 hours ahead? Something like that. I'm sure Sion will. Oh, that's interesting. Someone sent some, done a super chat, which is the financial contribution, even though I'm sure I set that to off. Oh well. Thanks anyway. I appreciate that. Lev Sko. Amazing day, time, Islet stream. Thanks for all the great videos. Can't wait for you to do more with LiPo battery banks. Yeah, I'm going to be doing quite a lot of that. I've forgotten the numbers of these now again, of course. I'm going to do quite a lot of that because it does interest me. And I want to put a LiPo pack in my outside battery system. 11 and 12, 35, 36. 11 and 12. I don't want to make a mistake, you see, because that would just be a disaster, wouldn't it? 11 and 12. So that's 11. Let's just put that up on there. 12. I like to bend these so that they go in with a bit of friction-y. I'm not worrying about which way around these go because that sort of thing doesn't bother me. 11 and 12. Okay, let's solder those. Are you powering the TS soldering iron from a USB wall wart or from a power bank? Neither, because it's not USB. Unless you're talking about the TS80, which is USB. This one is not USB. This one you can run off, I can't remember what the lowest voltage is. Probably down to about 12 volts, although you wouldn't get much power. So I'm running this off 20 volts. I'll just bring this in again. This is my contraption. It's a power tool battery, 18 volts, more like 20 when it's fully charged. They had a little sort of power display plug-on thing, and I modified it to enable my soldering iron to plug in. So I now use that because it just makes it really portable. So that's done. Right, here we go with the Plato 170. One thing I noticed about these is the jaws don't quite join very accurately, but it doesn't seem to matter. And you can cut far more flush with these than you can with my old cutters. So yeah, they're pretty good. And I bought them for a particular reason. I wanted to cut them flush. Oh, actually, one thing, and you haven't seen the video yet because I haven't put it up yet. Well, I have put it up for patrons, but it's not up for... Oh, shall I do a sneak preview? Yes, I think I can do a sneak preview. Here's my sneak preview. These are the lithium-ion cells that came out of the Wix power tool batteries. And the little... when you pull the nickel strip off, it leaves these little bits, these little pips, and these flush cutters are actually quite good. It takes a long time, but you can use the flush cutters to just cut away those little pips. You have to read super chats no matter what they are. Yes, I think you do. Time for a beer, good idea. Daytime stream madness. Yeah, I know, but you see, daytime is when I have the house to myself. I actually do in the evening for a while on certain evenings when the wife is at badminton. So that will be another possibility. I'll probably do badminton streams, and they'll have absolutely nothing to do with badminton at all. Through hole, through hole, through hole. Yeah, this is through hole. I have the whole week off. I have the whole week off. Well, off work. David. Hi, David. How are you doing? That's excellent. Everyone should have the whole week off work every week. Okay, so 470 ohms. I'll just check this. 470 and another black. So that's 470 and then nothing really beyond that. 470, that goes in there. These resistors I put 1/10 of an inch apart. Now, normally I don't do that. I kind of leave a little tiny gap of a 40th of an inch, but actually they fit perfectly well 1/10 of an inch apart, so I shouldn't worry. And I've started doing it more and more. It goes in there, doesn't it? Opposite that one. You see, these are totally symmetrical. When you get down to the op amps, they're not, because the output on one side is pin 1, the output on the other side is pin 7. It's really irritating. But the transconductance op amp is symmetrical either side, which is what's so nice about it. Don't put it in the wrong hole. No, I'll try not to. JRC, PCB, or whatever. Love your vocoder video, thanks. Yeah, I really like the vocoder, and I must admit I'm liking it more and more as it kind of approaches the final build where I can actually get it to vocode, because it won't vocode. You can sort of do stuff with bits of it, you know, like oscillators and op amps and amplifiers and mixers, but you can't actually vocode until the entire thing is built. I'm going to go back to my normal cutters. I quite like these because they don't cut quite flush. They're kind of, there's a little recess there. I'm not sure if you can see that. So they just cut slightly away, and I quite like that. Just so there's a little pip of wire sticking out. Okay, let's do some more resistors. What's R38 and R14? Which is the little gap there. R38 and R14. Never going to find it now, am I? Oh, there it is. R14. Okay, it's 10K into the current controlled input of the transconductance op amp. So 38 and 14 are both 10K. Let's get some 10Ks. Did I have any more 10Ks? Yeah, more 10Ks. I think I'm short of 12Ks at the moment. Another 6 boards. You will not have a lot of spare time this week. Well, I'm not sure whether I'll do I'll do it all. And see it's slow when I do it on camera, but if I do this off camera, I can motor through it. And then you just get that sort of banal R10, 6, 4, and everything's just done really quickly. Right, what have we got? Come on, visit JLC PCB website and read the contact location. Okay, that's in reply to someone. Did anyone see the flying teapot fly in Texas? Any chance we'll be buying more finger Muppets? I did. I did actually buy more finger Muppets. Silly, really, because I don't know quite why I thought I was going to do the puppets again. I'm not sure I am. What was this? This was the current control. So that's 14 and 38. Can I find them? Oh yeah, there. Of course, I started off saying I wanted the ones in the gap, didn't I? 14 and 38. See, what do you do when you want to put that down? You can't, so you have to put it on a cup, like that. 14 and 38. In you go. Right, soldering. Oh, thanks everyone for your contributions. I meant to switch that off because I find it a bit distracting. Get Your Bone has contributed $1.99 and says 10. Okay. Get Your Bone has contributed $9.99 but hasn't left a comment. Well, I appreciate the contributions. If you want to put a comment on it, I'm quite happy to read it out. I think this is a Twitch thing, isn't it? I've never done Twitch, but I think the sort of super chat is a big thing on Twitch. Because I saw one of my subscriptions doing a live stream, and it was the first time he'd done a live stream on YouTube. And there was a lot of talk about him having done live streams on Twitch, which I wouldn't even sort of know how to think about doing. And I mean, what would you do on Twitch? Live soldering like this? I don't think that would attract a lot of... Incidentally, he's nothing to do with electronics. He's something entirely different. Can you make a live Q&A? Well, this can be a live Q&A. If you want it to be a live Q&A, distracted, I'm a bit distracted. So what's R4 and R27? That's the next one along. R4 and R27. Let's have a look. Can I find R4 and R27? There's R27. It's actually part of the filter. Okay, so we're moving more now towards the two op amps, which are labeled here as 4558s. They're actually not. They're 1458s. But I quite liked the footprint for the 4558 and the fact that it splits the op amp into two parts so you can actually see them as op amps. Otherwise you get this sort of thing. Oh no, it's not on here. But you see them almost like just a square with wires coming out, and just doesn't really... it's not very representative of what it is. So I use this 4558 even if it's a 741. Oh no, it can't be a 741, can it? Because that's a dual. So even if it's a 1458 or if it's a TLO 82 or something like that. R27 1K, R4 1K. Oh, 7 and 30 are both 1Ks as well. Will I remember that? Almost certainly not. R4 and R27 1K. Have I got any 1Ks? Oh yeah, loads. So they're in here. Loads of 1Ks. And these are super duper thick. So these are old. Oh, what's that one on there? So I'll take 4 of those out. Yeah, I bought from Rapid Electronics, sort of new old stock. I don't think they sell them anymore. And they were in these lovely kits where everything was labelled. And they're super thick copper legs. Oh, I think they are. Yeah, that's not sticking to that. Super thick copper legs, slightly tarnished. The tinning. 27 and R4 is 1K. I better just double check that. 27 R4, 7 and 30 as well. Let's see where 7 and 30 are. Okay, the other side of the cap, so that's absolutely fine. Put that upside down for the moment. Comments. Right, let's have a look. Dave put an IC upside down. Oh, did he? Oh, that's right. Well, no, I saw the bit where he put an IC in and then it fell out again. Which was... but I didn't watch the whole stream because it was just live soldering. Why would you watch the whole stream of just live soldering? That's a silly thing to say, isn't it? Okay, some strange comments. There's not a lot of non-gaming stuff on Twitch these days, but gaming is still their bread and butter. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. You very much helped me put together my 3 kilowatt-hour, 48 volt solar Chevy volt system on my boat. Thanks. Oh, you're very welcome. Get your bone. No problem at all. Yeah, I want to get back into the solar stuff. It's a bit late in the season now, really, to say that, but because I've got my new shed coming soon, and so I want to put some lights in the sheds. I've just put some strip lights under the work area, which will soon become the orangery. And I want to have PIRs, passive infrared sensors, microwave sensors. I've got a couple of those. I've got one coming from ICS. They got in touch and said, anything you want. So I thought I'd take a microwave sensor. It does look like a slightly odd one, but we'll have a look at that. And then I can have all these lights come on as you walk up the garden, which would be rather fun. So I think it was R7. Now R7 is one where I've got an additional pad there, which means when I do the filters for the extremities, the high pass, I can't remember, is it filter 1 or filter 14? This needs to be thought about, but for this one it doesn't, so I can just shove R7 in there. R7, these are 1K, aren't they? I'll just double check that again before I solder them. Okay. Do a lab tour. Lab tours are difficult because you have to tidy away any sort of stuff that you don't want people to see when you do a lab tour, which is, I think, what puts most people off doing lab tours. And it's not a very big lab. It's 2 meters by, oh, what's David saying? Take a look at R38. Might need a touch-up. No, no way. Can't see which is R38 now. I'll give you a nice close-up. Of course, you won't be able to see it from this side, will you? There's one that looks like it might have drifted a little bit over the gap around the solder mask, but I think it'll be fine. That's a ground one. The ones that connect to the ground plane are always more difficult to get heat into because the spokes are fat. I keep saying this, the spokes are very fat, and therefore the heat just gets sucked out into the ground plane. And I want to keep the, what's it called, the clearance between the ground plane and the actual track quite small, and therefore the spokes are very short. Now you could make a bigger clearance and make the spokes longer, but then you get problems with discontinuities in your ground plane because it can't get through gaps. If you've done PCB layout, you'll appreciate that. Okay, see, I can't see the R38 now because it's actually inside there. I could find another board, but I don't think they're immediately to hand. I'll just plow on, but I'll vaguely remember R38 if there's a problem. I doubt there will be. We need a Big Clive and Gillian project. Yeah, I think a Big Clive and Gillian project would be really good. What else we got? Ian Scott Johnson is also in here, question mark. I don't know, I haven't seen his... Oh yes, he is here. Hi Ian. Okay, I was just released from prison and you helped me find a place to live where nowhere else to go. Sleeping in the Greyhound bus station, restroom. Okay, restroom, that sounds like it's not UK. All my British channels are here. Are they really? I haven't been watching, have I? Absolutely enjoy watching your video, and I believe you're the second channel that I subscribed to after I subscribed to photonic induction since 2011. Yeah, gosh, I've been on YouTube since 2007, but when I first started, I was mainly doing sort of advertisement videos for my solar charge controller. I thought YouTube would be a good way to advertise it, and it was, actually, it worked. Where's my pointer pen? I've lost my pointer pen. It's gone. Okay, no pointer pen. Right, what have we got next? We've got R3 and R26. What are they? See, it's much easier. It takes a long time, but you can put the value on the board, but that's not the default setting, so you've got to reset it all, and it takes ages going through a whole board. I did it on some of the boards. but not all of them. R3, R26. This whole looking up process is a pain. R3, oh, there it is. Oh, it's another 1K. And R26, 1K. Excellent. Let's get some more 1Ks. I just commented on your video for raw lithium-ion battery cell. David Watts. Okay, not me. I finally got blue tack and I love it. Yeah, blue tack's awesome, isn't it? I like the way it goes all soggy when it gets hot. And then it sort of re-solidifies when it cools down. And then you can kind of dab it. I've seen there are some more 1Ks. Yes, I'll get 4 of those out. You can kind of dab it and peel it off. It's just brilliant stuff. 38 minutes in now and still no blue tack. Unprecedented soldering with no blue tack. Okay, I'll bring some blue tack in. Where is it? Where is my blue tack? You wouldn't believe how messy my desk is. You would not believe it. But my new shed should... Here's my blue tack. Some of it's gone quite hard. But you can sort of revive it by just stretching it. And I don't know whether new oil from your fingers gets into it and that's what actually makes it a bit more squidgy, but that does seem to revive it. I'll put that up there because the white piece of plastic affects the exposure. No blue tack, not sure about. I finally got blue tack and I love it. Yeah, gonna use those lithium-ion raw cells. Do you sell your solar charge controller in kit form? No, not currently, because I'm still suffering from queuing at the post office trauma. Because when I was making them and selling them, I had to queue at the post office and it became traumatic. I'm still suffering from the trauma of it. Right, okay, R2 and 3 are both 1K. That's good, I'll do those. And then actually what I'll do, and it makes perfect sense, and I don't know why I didn't think of it, is then just work on the basis of symmetry. 2 and 3 are 1K. Are they? R2 and 3, really 1K? R2, 1K. R3, 1K. Yes! Excellent. Boom, now the world is in balance again. R2. Oh, I need my cup. What have I done with it? R3, also a 1K. I'm getting the bend radius on these just right for them to hold themselves in. Look at that. Awesome. My soldering iron is currently buried under mess on my desk behind me. Yeah, normally is. Actually, no, I hang my soldering iron up. I use those pipe clips, which are screwed into the edge of my shelves. And this soldering iron actually doesn't have any sort of flanges or anything, but it just has enough grip to hold it there. So I hang the soldering iron up. The solder is what I can never find, so I end up cutting a new piece. Okay, let's solder in R2 and R3, both 1K. Don't think either of these go to ground spokes, so I won't have any trouble with having to hold the iron on excessively long. Oh, right, let's have a look. I found that the UK Post Office queue is one of the slowest forms of movement ever recorded. Yes, it is. It's terrible. And certain times of the day are worse than others. If you turn up at lunchtime, it's nigh on impossible. Any time around Christmas is just absolutely hopeless. You should find better post office. When I say, well, it's difficult now because they're closing so many of them. I'm very lucky, actually. I've got one quite nearby. Not that I go there much anymore. So that was R2 and R3. Now, of course, I can't see the opposites, but I'm pretty sure it was there and there. So R25 and R26 look favourite. I will just double check. Actually, with my new pointer, which is now a pencil. R25 1K, R26 1K. Let's do it. Did you create the board? Why not call the resistors the same value as R1? Then you know all the R1s are the same value, which would save you time looking at values each time. Yeah, I mean, there's various ways of doing it. I actually prefer to put the value on the board. Now, that may not work in a commercial environment where things are changing and therefore the lookup table can change even after the board got printed. But where you know it's not going to change, you can put the values on the board. But it's just that the software doesn't do that as a default, and there's no way to set it to do it as a default. And therefore, you have to just go through every individual component, changing what's actually printed on the silk screen, and it just takes forever. And in the end, I just thought, I can't be bothered. I'll just leave the numbers on there and do it via lookup table. But it does make it slower for the live stream. But anyway, live streams are not meant to be whiz bang, fully edited, everything happening, which is what videos are. They're fully edited and it all comes together and it's pacey. Got to keep your videos pacey. Live streams are not pacey. I'm going through the gap there. And actually, what I've discovered with live streams, and this is Sion, because I watch the Unexpected Makers live streams regularly. And what I've discovered is that really it's a place where people can just come in and chat. It's almost like the host can just get on with his thing and let people chat separately. And so it doesn't have to be one to many. It can be many to many. And people can chat amongst themselves. And so you can actually take your eye off the comments for quite a while. It doesn't really matter. Right, we've got some links here. Now this is where, it's complicated, but I'll try and explain it. But on these filters, the signal goes sort of into negative, comes out, goes into negative. But on the high pass and the low pass filters, which are filters 1 and 14, the filters are different. The signal goes into positive. So here, where you've got positive connected to ground, what I wasn't able to do is connect the non-inverting input, the positive input, directly to the ground plane, because that means it would be very difficult when I do the other type of filter. So I put a link in. So wire link goes in there. And that just means that when I do the other type of filter, using the same pad layout, I can actually achieve it. So here I need to put a link in. Well, that's easy enough. I can put in, I'm still pacing on, yeah, steadily. Yeah, I'm getting on with it. I'm not sure whether we'll get to capacitors. And in fact, I'm going to have to think about whether I want to go to the capacitors because they're very tall. I might put these sockets in actually and just scupper myself completely. No, I need to put a bend radius on this. Actually, would it go over that? Yes, I think I might be able to do it over there. I think certain of my tools, I've kind of learnt the pitch across them. Concentrate. Yeah, I should concentrate. And, you know, like this, I think works for 5/10 or 4/10. This works for 3/10, I think. Near enough. And you just get used to sort of some tools you can use as bend gauges. That's if you're still doing through hole like me. Oh, no, that's not very good at all. That's got a horrible bend on it. Oh, well, I quite like it, actually. Gives it a bit of 3D, a bit of relief. Look at that. A bit of 3D bow. Yeah, I'm going for that. I've not got a problem with that. Anyone else got a problem with that? Oh, Sion's going. Bye, Sion. I'll definitely come and visit you on your next stream. Not sure when that'll be, but get well soon. Yeah, get well soon, because I do enjoy your live streams. It's one of the few, well, actually it's the only at the moment, live stream that I sort of regularly visit, because Sion does them regularly. And there's something to be said for regular live streams. Maybe I'll do regular live streams. That's my pot of copper cut-offs. Maybe on the badminton nights. Perhaps that's the best idea. Falling asleep. Yeah, I understand. Absolutely. I fall asleep during your live streams, Sion. No offense, but they are in the evening, you see. And they start about 9:30 and they often go until midnight. So yeah, fully understand. Get some sleep, mate. No problem. Okay. Subscribed. Bye, Sion. Be well. Rest up, maker. Bye, Sion. Lots of messages for Sion. And rightly so. Hello, Julian. Been watching you for years. Oh, thank you, Stuart. Oh, I need another link, don't I? I want to get this. Actually, I've got a video coming up on vocoder. What's your hobby other than electronics? Oh, hobby other than electronics. That's an interesting one. Well, I'll tell you, it's not really a hobby, but the guy I watched the other day on YouTube is a coin collector. but only modern coins. So he's not really collecting coins at all. He just sorts through bags of coins looking for the commemorative ones. And you'd think that it would be the most tedious, banal thing ever. And yet his subscriptions are shooting up. And I was just amazed. It's just that, it's almost monotonous. But it's so, you know what you're going to get. When you watch his videos, you know what you're going to get. He's going to open bags of coins and go through them and pick out all the commemorative ones. It's bizarre. But he actually did a live stream of it the other day. And so I just sat and enjoyed that. He doesn't know I'm a subscriber, I don't think. He got my name wrong. Everyone gets my name wrong. He called me Illit. Julian Illit. It's not Julian Illit. It's Julian Eilert. Still using the Nexus 4. Yeah, I am still using the Nexus 4. I've got two. This one, and there's one in this drawer, just under the mat. Which was my phone, my main phone. But I switched my main phone to the Doogie Mix because it's got 4G. And this was the idea of this was to do live streams outdoors. I did one, but it was a bit silly. And I probably won't do many live streams outdoors. But it does seem that with the new software, I had to update the app on this just now. Did I miss a... Oh, no, I didn't miss any. It does seem that this can do live streams as well. I don't think we've got any lag. Is there any lag? Max in Durante. Saw that coin person too. Very relaxing. Great to fall asleep with. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just strange. So I think you could probably do a live stream of anything. I think you could literally do paint drying or grass growing. Perhaps I'll take the camera outside one of these days. I'm going to do a time lapse of my shed being built. They said they were happy with that. The company that's going to be installing it. Really looking forward to that. It should be here in the next couple of days because that should revolutionize the amount of spare space I've got in the workshop. Right, so it's all capacitors down here now. What's this R28 and R5? Let's check them out. R28 and R5. Where did that pen go? Because that's my JLC PCB pen. Oh, it's right over here. It's the one with the tick. I'm not going to tell you what the tick means. You have to work that out for yourself. R5 and R28. Let's have a look. R28 must... Oh, it's another 1K. R28 1K, R5 1K. Have I got any 1Ks? They're not 1Ks. They're something else. Back to the 1K drawer. Hi, Julian. From a fan of 27 years. 27 years. I haven't been doing YouTube for 27 years. Unless you're referring to when I did some magazine articles. Actually, which could have been 27 years ago. What was it? R5 and 28 1K. There's another one here, 34 and 42. Oh, that sounds weird. 34 and 42. Why are they over there? 34 1 meg. 42 1 meg. Okay, I'll find some 1 megs. Big Clive is super nocturnal. Big Clive is super nocturnal. Yes, he often doesn't go to bed until about 4 or 5 a.m. So it's 5 and 28 for the 1Ks, wasn't it? 28 and 5 1Ks. 1K. Brown, black, black, brown. That's 1K. 5 and 28. Yes, Julian, following you from the EPE days. Yeah, that's right. I did a few articles in EPA. Had burnt out there as well because it's full on. In fact, that was enormous hard work. Well, for the money, it was enormous hard work. Because I did some of the articles with my mate Brett, and you can spend months on those, and then you get paid, I don't know, £500 or something, which is nice, but for 6 months of work, it doesn't add up. And once we'd done about 5 or 6, it just got to that point where I just couldn't do it anymore. It was just too much. But they were fun, mostly digital stuff. Did the lottery predictor, the fruit machine, the LED matrix display. That was Z80. Oh, that thing's cooled down, I think. Or is this a ground point? That was Z80. And then, of course, I did PIC PIC microcontroller. Oh, this is a ground one. It's sucking all the heat away. And what I didn't realise was actually Clive, unbeknown to me, because I didn't know Clive until YouTube days, also bought into the PIC around when I did, which was 92, I think, with the original PIC start system. So learned PIC programming and still programs using the PIC in assembly language, because back then C wasn't really available. You had to pay for it, I think. I remember when EPE was 5 years old. Do you mean? I got the ETI with this vocoder project. That was a fantasy builder course. Oh, sorry. I remember when EPE was 5 magazines. 5 magazines. You mean they owned 5 different magazines? Possibly, I don't know. But I got the ETI with this vocoder project. Yes, I don't have the original magazine. I had it years ago, and I sold something like 2,000 electronics magazines to a chap called Brian for £1 because they were on eBay and they went for the minimum. I just had to get rid of them, and of course now I hugely regret that. But it's very difficult. Where do you store them? Now these outer two here, 34 and 42, were 1 meg, weren't they? I got you 1 meg. 1 meg, yes. 1 meg. Yeah, I think his name was Brian, and I think he was from Dis. So if your name is Brian from Dis, have you still got those magazines? I'll buy them back for £1. They're gone forever, aren't they? Let's face it. Don't need that. 1 meg, 2 of them. Okay. Yeah, I just had to let them go. They were in magazine trays, plastic magazine trays. Each tray held a year of magazines. And they must have been worth a fortune, those trays. Right, 1 meg. Brown, black, black, yellow. Don't think of yellow. I normally think of 1 meg as having a green band, but in 4 band, it has a yellow. So they were in, as I say, in the back of a car. They were in various places at different times. They were actually in the engine room of a lift shaft for quite a while, where I worked. Then they were in the back of a car which was not running, it wasn't working. So they were in the boot of the car, and they only just fitted in the boot. And it was a huge boot, because it was a huge car, because I used to have huge cars before I realised that was stupid, unenvironmental, costly. But you could buy huge cars for next to no money. Nobody wanted them. That bit of solder, I think, has had it. So that can go in my pot of lead. There we are. Right, let's cut these off just to read a few comments. EPE was the final combo of all the old ones. Yeah, EPE bought PE. Well, Everyday Electronics bought Practical Electronics and became Everyday Practical Electronics, or Everyday with Practical Electronics. Then they bought ETI. So yeah, they soaked up all of them. Don't think they bought the Maplin magazine or E&MM, which was another one that I really liked. They belong now to Future PLC, Future Publishing, I think, because I tried to get in touch with them. I sent them tweets and Facebook messages, and I filled in their online form because I said to them, can I show the inside of your 40-year-old magazines on my YouTube channel? And they just didn't reply ever. So I don't quite know how you get in touch with them. Okay, any chance you knew Techmoan? I can't remember. I emailed Matt, but Matt was never into electronics. And in fact, he doesn't do electronics. He kind of steers clear of the electronics. I did speak to him a few times. I kind of said to him, you know, if there's anything electronic you need any help with. But he's mates with the 8-Bit Guy and various other YouTubers. Maplin did its own magazine for a few years. Yes, that's right. And then they did E&MM, and then that changed hands. These magazines changed hands so often that became electronics technology or something, like music technology or something. I can't remember. I learned PAL decoding from the Maplin mag. Oh, okay. How you got interested in electronics? Oh, from the age of 7, you know, battery and wires and bulbs. And then I just never stopped. Huge cars are wonderful. I have one and love it. It does more to the gallon than a lot of small cars. No, mine never did. Because I had like Vauxhall Victors and Rover Sterlings and V6 2.7 litre and all that sort of stuff. And they were great, and they were all automatics. But they certainly weren't economical. Now, let me think. Wait a minute. There might be an issue here. I don't know. Of course, oh, yeah, I think I might have made a big cock up here. Because I think I just put default 1K values in a lot of places. For the filters, they might have to come out. Oh, no. Oh, it's not the end of the world. And these have to be bespoke values based on which filter you're building. Yeah, certainly these, I think, do have to be specific values. Oh, well, that's not the end of the world. I can take them out. Yeah, really, I should have stuck to the components that aren't in the filter area that are driving things like the transconductance op amp. And possibly over here, yeah, that 3K9 I think is the same on every filter, the 1 meg. So I should have stuck to that. So yeah, there are going to be a few resistors over here which I'm going to have to pull, which actually aren't 1K. That's the problem with this. This board I designed so that one board would work for all 14 filters. And of course, that requires compromises, particularly, I do follow Robert Murray-Smith, yeah. Particularly as two of the filters 1 and 14, are entirely different because they're not bandpass. They're high pass and low pass. So, oh, okay. Let's have a think. R15 and R39, pretty certain they are common to all circuits. They're around here somewhere. R15 and R39. Where are they? They must be on the output of this thing. Oh, there it is. It's 1K. R15, R39, 1K. Did I do those? No, I didn't. Well, I can do those. I've got lots of 1Ks. In fact, probably could pull some of these out and put them in there. Never mind. 1K, R15 and R39. Let's put those in because I'm fairly certain they are common to all filters. See, I haven't actually learnt to multitask yet, where you can read the comments and work on something and not make mistakes. Focus absolutely on two separate things. Haven't learned to do that. I will. It'll come. And I want to do more live streams because I quite enjoy them. They're quite fun. Right, what have we got? I lived and slept in a Rover 45 for a week once. All my stuff crammed in. Yeah, the Rover 45 was smaller, wasn't it? I'm talking about the Rover Sterling, which was a Rover 800, I think. Yes, an 827, the 27 being 2.7 litre. But I'd never go back to those old big cars. In fact, I want to go electric now. But, and I could have done, a couple of years ago, the electrics were really cheap because there was no demand for them. Because we didn't have things like the ULEZ, the ultra low emission zone in London. Have you ever been to the Netherlands on a visit? I don't think I've been to the Netherlands. Oh, actually, wait a minute, I'm going to have to think about this. Dutch, Netherlands, Holland, Amsterdam. Yes, I have been to the Netherlands. Because me and some mates went to Amsterdam when we were sort of young 20s. You can probably imagine what we did there. I didn't get anything from YouTube about this. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, there was no sort of pre-notification. It was very much spur of the moment. And in fact, it was meant to be just a test. In fact, I might wrap it up soon. Because it was just meant to be to see whether this camera, this phone, the Nexus 4, is capable of doing live streaming. And I'll probably switch to evening slots for this next time. Although, of course, I'll have to have lighting. I can't use daylight, can I? This, because it's the same camera that I normally use to shoot videos, and the same lighting conditions, if I get rid of that, probably looks identical to my videos. I don't know whether the resolution is there, may or may not be. But it should look pretty identical because it's the same, and it should sound identical. Same phone, same lighting conditions. It's almost like me making a video, but without the gaps. Without me stopping the camera and thinking, right, what do I say next. No, quality is poor. Well, it's yeah. I mean, it probably isn't going to be able to keep up the 1080 or whatever it is. Okay, let's have a look. I wish Mike Harrison would do an update on his new electric Hyundai Kona. Yeah, that would be really interesting. I wonder if he's taken it apart yet. That'd be quite interesting. Anyone remember a magazine small project that was a 3-LED car voltage indicator with 2 transistors? Can't remember which mag. That sounds like EE. Yeah, because Everyday Electronics tended to do the really simple ones. I've got an electric, but it has pedals too. Well, the electrics have 2 pedals, don't they? Are you saying it's got 3 pedals? Yeah, but Mike Harrison's thing on the charging cable was really fascinating, because the thing where he showed the pulse width, variable pulse width, to change the current that the onboard charger draws from the mains. That was really interesting, and it was understanding that. Oops, the sun's coming in, isn't it? I have to lower the blind a bit. It was understanding that made me understand how the what's it called? There's a charger, isn't there, that can using a feedback control loop can take your meter tail current down to 0. I can't remember what it's called now. Zappy, that's the one. The Zappy charger, so that you can use your roof solar to charge your car, and there's no grid export and there's no grid import. That's what the Zappy charger does. It's a control loop that just keeps the meter current at 0. So your car charges at whatever current you're actually getting off your roof minus what you're pulling out from your house. Something like that. Both the video and audio are slightly more compressed than your regular videos, but it's still fine. That's good to know. Thank you, Denta UK Web. No, Denta KU Web. I always thought that was UK. Don't know why. Can't decipher that name. Don't know, mate. Did you write an article many years ago on the HD 44780? I did, when my name was spelt with a Y. If so, why? Tax dodge? No, it was a teenage stupid move where I changed my name and spelt it with a Y. And then it got on all my paperwork, including my driving license, passport, everything. And it's only in the last few years that I've managed to get everything back to Julian with an I. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a t-shirt on because it's quite hot. And I'm going to flip the camera now. Do a few... read a few of the comments. Let's see if I can flip the camera. How do you flip the camera? Oh, there. Did that work? No. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we are. And I'll just read some comments off the thingy bob. I got an email. Where's that? Because I've got the bell icon enabled. Okay, yeah, I think that's what you have to do, isn't it? Where's the camera? There it is. Hello. Camera's up there, but I'm reading the screen. Yeah, you got to click the bell icon if you want absolutely everything. Do you pay customs duties for your imported electronics out of the EU? No, not generally, because it all comes in bags of less than £15 worth. Were you not wearing a t-shirt at all? No, I wasn't, because it's really hot. The thing is, the house is hot. It's actually moderate temperature outside. It's quite nice outside. But in the house, it's really hot because all the walls warm up after 3 days of 30 whatever it was degrees. So it's quite warm in here. Looking forward to seeing you at Repair Cafe. Yes, I've been meaning to go numerous times. I just haven't got around to it. Haha. We can't have bare-chested. No, absolutely not. That would be completely unreasonable. I used to spell my name Andy when I was a teenager. Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? It's completely stupid, but there you go. That's what we do. Yesterday was ridiculous. Oh, it was pleasant if you didn't have to do any sort of physical work. I just sat in the garden. It was really nice. I actually made a video in the morning, but it was warm. Search after ETI vocoder by Powertron on YouTube. Yeah, you can find the magazine article for this vocoder. It's the American Radio Society of something or other, and they have sections of magazine archives of the UK magazines, and it is in there. There was this sort of the circuitry. Well, the articles were online. A Swedish guy had them up for a while, but that disappeared. Spontis, I think it was Spontis SE or something, but that vanished. So now you've got to get it from the American Radio Society website. I can't remember the link. Someone will know the link for that, I'm absolutely certain. How much did that board cost? I can't remember. It's not got any gold on it, so it was the lower cost. It's fairly large, and I had 10 of them, I think. Yeah, I think I had 10 made, so it was probably, I don't think it would have been the $2. It might have been $5. It might have been $5. The $2 offer is now applicable to 5 boards. So if I only need 1 board, I'll get 5 boards and have it done for $2. But I mean, you know, you must realize that I'm not paying for these boards because I'm sponsored by JLC PCB. So I do the designs, and they give me vouchers for the boards, and then I pay for them with vouchers. So that's how it works. And I think that's reasonable because the amount of work, the amount of hours I put into these designs is more than, I mean, it's this board probably took 20 hours, something like that. When you finish the vocoder, can buy one. Possibly, I don't know. The difficulty there is the front panel. The front panel is something you'd have to have made. I got the design of the front panel somewhere, and I had the front panel made, but then the company that made it no longer exists. Neither does the bloke who actually made the front panel. He died, unfortunately, so no way I can have another front panel made. But I think there are front panel companies that will make aluminium panels for you if you send them the details. I think you can do that. I saw one in America. I'm not sure about the UK. Of course, they have to have the machinery to do it, and a lot of that machinery got sold overseas. Any experimenting with making batteries or supercaps? Well, I'm going to do both. I'm going to do what I want is a system where the external lighting things in sheds, there's a light at the front of the house, the lights in the lean-to are all going to be 12 volt, and they're going to run from a variety of lead acid, supercap, and lithium ion now. And so I'm starting to build lithium ion packs, which this pack, and I'll release the video for this tonight because it's been up for quite a while now, but not as a public one. With BMSs, and of course there's an issue with lithium ion. Sion will know this. Is it Sion? No, this is Adam Welch. Adam Welch, I think, put lithium in his 12 volt shed, and there's a bit of a dilemma whether you go for 3-cell or 4-cell when you're trying to interface it with 12 volts. So I'll have to go into all that. It's a bit tricky, but it'll be fun. I used to get ETI and tutorial electronics years ago. I think the best electronics tutorial books were the Forrest M. Mims book from Tandy. Okay, I'm not familiar with that. My favourite was ETI. I really liked the style of ETI and some of the projects, particularly the big projects. I just drooled over the big projects, and this vocoder, of course, was one of them. And it's one of the few you can still build because all the synthesizers, you need the keyboard, and a lot of the chips were bespoke synthesizer chips. They're very difficult to get now. Can such a front panel be laser cut from metal? Yeah, I'm sure it could. Yeah, you could probably laser cut. It's aluminium. Well, I made mine from aluminium. I suppose you could make it out of steel. Do you follow Robert Murray Smith? I do, yeah. Yeah, I'd like to keep up with what he's doing. He's had some delays recently with the supercaps and the batteries. And I really wanted to see his Twizy running off his batteries, and that never happened, of course, because the Kickstarter campaign didn't raise enough money, unfortunately. Found your channel from the 2-wire Christmas lights. I found some similar ones, and your video was the only one about something like them I could find. Yeah, they were really interesting. I think they provided power, and then they just blip the power off for a few microseconds, and then that would change the color. Have you seen MCU Mini Core on GitHub? Yeah, I must admit, the SBC, no, not SBC, the system on a chip, the SoCs, I'm less interested in. I like electronics where there's lots of components on a board, and where there's just a chip with a few support components, I find it less interesting. And so, which is why I dropped the ESP 8266 and 32 stuff. And I shan't be following up on that. Did you get an X-Carve? Yeah, I got that X-Carve, but I never built it because I don't have the space. It was silly getting it, really. And then they never followed it up when they were giving away to YouTubers. Yeah, so it's in my lockup. I wanted to give it away. So I wanted to find a Hackspace that wanted it. But Hackspaces never have any space. This is the problem. There's just no space. So I'd willingly give that away to a Hackspace. Right, okay, I think I'm going to wrap this up. How long have I been going? 1 hour and 9 minutes. As I say, this was intended to only be a test. And it works, so that's good. So I'm going to do some more of these, probably evening ones. I'll get my overhead lights. Got overhead lights here, so it's probably doable. The lighting will look slightly differently. Hello from Palma de Mallorca. Oh, lovely. Lovely. If anyone's in Malta, if anyone's in Gozo, then by all means say hello from Gozo. That would be great. That's my favourite island. My cover of Drive by the Cars, yeah. Recorded in 1986. Can't sing anymore, so I won't be able to do that now. Will we get notifications? Well, yeah, I'll do notifications. And in fact, I might be able to give a bit of notice because I generally get a little bit of notice for the badminton evenings. So I can probably provide 30 minutes of notice or an hour maybe or something like that. Gozo from Ghostbusters. No, Gozo. Gozo is an island. It's the second largest island in the Maltese archipelago. Good. So yeah, I'm going to do more live streams. But I'm going to wrap this one up now, and hopefully, and of course I've made mistakes. So some of these 1K resistors are going to have to be pulled, but never mind. And hopefully I'll just do more soldering, probably mostly soldering live streams, or maybe sort of some concept type live streams if I can plan them. So I'm going to press the X button now, and I know where it is. I know how to stop the stream. That's the thing. It catches a lot of people out, isn't it? So bye-bye, everyone. I'll see you in the next live stream. Cheerio. Let's press that X. Are you sure you want to stop live streaming? Yes.